Hey.
Welcome to the show, people. This week's WWE News and Rumors coming to you right now here on DroFingerz YouTube channel. Whether you're listening at home, doing laundry, listening at work, or chopping that wood for this unusual cold front that's coming through, almost headed into March, thank you for checking out the show. I really appreciate it. Check out the new digs, people. Look at all this right around here. Looking great this week. Put a lot of work into the show this week. That's why we didn't have a Raw review for last Monday. We're going to cover some things that happened on Raw on this show. It's going to be a long episode. We've got a lot of things on the docket to cover. Of course, next week we're going to have the Raw review as usual. Going to keep this going from now on. Every week we're going to have the Raw review with a WWE News and Rumors, kind of in a podcast format. So if you want to listen, you can do that. If you want to watch and see this ugly face, you can do that too. So thank you for joining me. We've got some links all around here. We got the Twitter link up here. We got the Facebook link over there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate you joining me. So this week we're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. A lot of crazy things happening this week. Post the Fastlane pay-per-view, which was very underwhelming. I think that Fastlane was just a stepping stone to get us to this Monday Night Raw, because this Monday Night Raw was a lot more exciting than the pay-per-view, let me tell you. We started off with the Vincent J. McMahon a Legacy of Excellence Award that was given out at the top of the show. A lot of speculation online prior to who this was going to go to, what it was actually meaning, if it was going to be part of a storyline, if it was going to be a shoot. Ended up being part of a storyline with Stephanie came out. Well, actually, Vince came out to give out the award. Said that it was going to go to Stephanie. She comes out, babbles for a little while, doing her usual rhetoric. And then we get, here comes the money. Shane McMahon comes out to a tremendous ovation. A huge pop for Shane McMahon, who's been away since I'd say around 2009. He wasn't very prominent back then. More of his more notable things were during the Attitude Era. Of course, he had that awesome match with Kurt Angle at King of the Ring, where he nearly got concussed over and over again, slamming into that into the Titantron glass, below by the stage, trying to throw him through it. Of course, you can look online and hear Kurt Angle's telling that story, which is very interesting. How they actually put the wrong glass in, and that's why it's supposed to be candy glass that breaks on impact, but it was actual glass. So that's why that happened. Getting back to Monday Night Raw, Shane McMahon comes out, tremendous ovation, which was a surprise to him. You could see a clip online of him basically doing a curtain call after this segment, just showing his appreciation, getting really teary about how great his ovation was and how surprised he was that the people really enjoyed him coming back. I did. I flipped when I saw it. It was amazing. But Shane McMahon coming out talking a lot about some real shit, which makes for the greatest storylines. If you want to get across to the casual audience especially that this is being taken seriously, this is the way to do it. Bring real life into the storyline. This is the reality era. That seems to be what they're doing now, finally living up to that name. So Shane McMahon comes out talking about how the stock prices are down, how ratings are down, and basically blaming all this shit on Triple H and Stephanie. As a work, obviously to work into the storyline. The real blame for that goes on you, Mr. Vince McMahon. So the storyline goes ahead. Shane says he wants control of Monday Night Raw so he can fix this shit. Vince then goes on to escort Stephanie out of the ring and say, we'll talk about this later. I don't want to talk about this shit right now. Shane saying that your old man made a mistake some years ago, and I've got this shit on him that I will reveal to everyone if you don't get the hell out of here, and so we can settle this like men in the ring. Stephanie then leaves, saying, I'll never forgive you for this shit, you know. And then Shane and Vince have a standoff in the ring. Vince comes to the conclusion that you want control of Monday Night Raw? I'll give it to you if you have one match at one place and time. The time and place is WrestleMania, and the match is against The Undertaker, which he said with great vigor. and after that, he also mentioned that it's not going to be an ordinary match. It's going to be a Hell in the Cell match at WrestleMania for control of Monday Night Raw. Now, this match is insane. Let me just say, a lot of people online are really looking forward to this match, Shane versus Taker in a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. Now, there are a lot of problems with this. One, Shane McMahon has not been in an active wrestling match for quite some time, especially a physical one like Hell in a Cell. You know, that's a big time match with a lot of risk and a lot of problems you could get from post that match, you know, injuries and that type of thing. Who knows if Shane is ready to go through that punishment? I personally think that it is a placeholder, which there are quite a few people online who see that as well. As it's just a placeholder to make waves, just to get some headlines out there for WrestleMania, because they have not sold this thing out yet, which we'll get to here in a little bit. We'll cover that. So I could see why they would go this route and try to get those tickets sold, try to get those pay-per-view buys, try to get those WWE Network buys. So I understand it, but I don't really think we're going to be seeing that match. It just doesn't make any logical sense for that to happen. We do have some tweets from John Cena. He's been tweeting over and over again, much to the dismay of Vince McMahon, I would guess. Kind of putting it out there that, hey, I'm going to be at WrestleMania, and I'm going to be doing something. He's been posting pictures of The Undertaker and things like this, so I could see that match happening. John Cena inserting himself into this storyline and fighting for Shane, seeing as how, you know, John Cena's had a lot of trouble with the Authority. We've had major storylines, not last year, but the year before. You know, the Survivor Series, where if he wins, the Authority's gone. Dolph Ziggler ends up winning that match for them, and then the Authority coming back shortly after that anyway, so that didn't really matter. But you do have a history of Cena versus the Authority, so you could insert him into this match and make it make sense. One problem with this: it's WrestleMania 32. It's the biggest WrestleMania. It's in Undertaker's hometown, or home state, rather. Not his hometown, but his home state of Texas. He's going to get that babyface pop. It's his event in his state. How are you going to make The Undertaker a viable heel in this role? I don't see how they're going to do that. We'll keep watching Raw throughout the weeks leading up to WrestleMania and see what they have. But it's going to be quite a turnaround if they can do that somehow, or if it's going to be a Shane McMahon heel turn and the Authority face turn, which doesn't make any sense. It just, this thing is so convoluted. There's so many moving parts. We're going to have to wait and see what happens to see if it's going to make any sense in kayfabe, because right now it just doesn't. We do have a report on Cena coming back to WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com reports that the deal to bring back Shane McMahon on Raw was made about a month ago, once Vince McMahon believed that the proposed John Cena versus Undertaker match for WrestleMania wasn't going to happen. Very few people in the company reportedly knew about Shane's return until the day of the show. Vince was said to be devastated about Cena's injury because he felt Cena versus Undertaker as a legend versus legend match would carry the show. Which it would. That's a huge main event match for WrestleMania this year. Because of Cena's injury, Vince decided to go outside of the box to make sure WrestleMania had a major attraction. there have been concern about WrestleMania having the weakest lineup in Buzz in years, which it does. The way they've built WrestleMania this year has been atrocious. You know, especially with the Roman Reigns Triple H thing. That's your main event title match. Not good, WWE, the way you've built this. While ticket sales have been strong for WrestleMania, it is still very far from being a sellout at this time. Now, I don't have any official numbers on the amount of tickets sold, but given that Dave Meltzer is a very good, reliable source for this any type of WWE information, I'm sure that it is very far from being sold out. So, like I said, I could see the Cena match happening. You know, like I said on the last week's WWE News and Rumors and my Raw review, Cena is a monster. He can come back from injury faster than anyone. I think we will be seeing that. Also on Raw this week, Lesnar versus Ambrose in a street fight is now official for WrestleMania. We did have a really cool storyline this week on Raw. It was kind of the highlight of Monday Night Raw, other than the Shane McMahon thing, of course. You had Lesnar coming out and beating Ambrose up on it was a Facebook video that WWE produced, kind of from a fan perspective shot, like it's from a cell phone or something, like World Star Hip Hop kind of video. So, you had Lesnar beating the shit out of not Roman Reigns, beating the shit out of Dean Ambrose, throwing him on a car, and having him carted out on a ambulance, on a stretcher, through an ambulance. Shortly thereafter, you had Ambrose coming back in that ambulance, which was a really, really cool spot. I love the way they did this. It wasn't, you know, Steve Austin era type of return through an ambulance, you know, where he's all of a sudden he's cool, he's fine, he's not hurt at all from what happened earlier. He's just coming back. But Dean Ambrose really sold the pain that he was going through from Lesnar. It was a great way to come back, you know, struggling, crawling to the ring, gets in there, he's like, come on. Lesnar steps outside of the ring, steps on Dean Ambrose's face, walks over him, as if to say, I've already done my damage, dude. I'll see you at WrestleMania. Right after that, Dean Ambrose went for the big promo for the WrestleMania match. You know, I want your ass at WrestleMania, street fight, no holds barred. That match is now official for WrestleMania 32. We talked about this last week. I love the way they're building this feud. You know, Lesnar is a monster, a beast, and you got Ambrose as the crazy, I don't give a shit, I'm going to try and beat your ass, I'm not going to stop, you're going to have to kill me. You know, similar to the Undertaker versus Lesnar thing last year. So, I love the way they're building this. Dean Ambrose really selling it, really good promos from him. So, that match is now official for WrestleMania. I think it will be a great match. Also, we have news on Roman Reigns. You know, they had this big spot at the end of Raw this week where Triple H came out, beat the living shit out of Roman Reigns, left him bloodied and stuff. We have several reports about the blood, by the way, we'll get to here in just a second. But Triple H coming out, smashing his head into the announce table several times, then giving him the pedigree on the steel steps, which looked really good, giving him, you know, mocking his Superman punch, which I loved that, by the way, because fuck that, and then giving him the crotch chop, you know, to send off Monday Night Raw. It was really hot the way they ended. The problem, Triple H getting a huge babyface pop. You know, Roman Reigns is supposed to be the babyface in this, and he's really looking like a heel. It's all backwards. It's all ass backwards right now. You got Triple H acting like an asshole for the entirety of this run, and he's getting the babyface pop. You got Roman Reigns coming out acting like the babyface, and he's getting the huge heel pop because nobody believes in Roman Reigns. Nobody believes that because it's horseshit. He can't do a good promo. If you noticed earlier in the show, before this whole beatdown happened, they had a backstage segment with Roman Reigns where it appeared to me, I'm not sure, but it appeared to me as if he was not scripted for this promo, because you could clearly see the guy just standing there like, what do I say next? What do I say next? Oh shit, I'm live right now. Holy shit! And he just like, he didn't freak out like that much, but you could tell that the guy did not know what to say. You know, I don't know if he had a scripted promo here and he just forgot what he was supposed to say, or if he was completely unscripted and just went off the cuff and put this bullshit together just to get the spot over and get through the promo, because that's what it appeared to me, is he was just getting through the promo unscripted, and it was not good. So Roman Reigns really needs to practice on his skills coming up with good shit on the fly, cutting a good promo on the fly. He cannot do that. We'll see if he gets better up until WrestleMania. If he doesn't and he can't pull this out, you gotta believe they're gonna call an audible here, because you know Roman Reigns is gonna get booed out of that building, especially if they end the show that way. If they end WrestleMania with Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the title and Roman Reigns wins clean, we're gonna have a problem. You know we're gonna have a problem. So we go back to Raw, where we have the blood, you know, all the blood that came from Roman Reigns' nose. There's a few reports coming out about this. You know, he had nose surgery this week, but it has been reported that from multiple sources that this was a pre-existing injury, that it does not pertain to the fracas that we had on Monday Night Raw. So the one thing I really liked, WWE using their resources well. You know, they knew that Roman Reigns was going to have to undergo nose surgery anyway, and they used that as in a storyline, you know, to get the blood all over his nose and to say, oh, Triple H messed up his face, so now he has to have nose surgery. Even though we do know that that's not pertaining to that storyline, it was really a really good way to use your resources for WWE to incorporate that. So we did have you could see actually, there's a GIF going around the internet, Byron Saxton handing off a blood capsule to Roman Reigns. You know, it's not 100% known whether that's what was going on, that he was indeed handing him that blood capsule or blade or whatever. But it looked very bad. You know, you could tell because right after they touched hands and Roman grabbed whatever he grabbed, you know, he came up from the announce table just blood everywhere. So it looked like a spot. You know, it definitely looked like Byron was in that spot to give him that blood capsule. We do have another report also on Shane McMahon. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com indicates that it is possible that a real-life soap opera behind the scenes between Shane, Triple H, and Stephanie could become way more interesting than the fictional one we're seeing on television. For years, Shane had various roles in the company, but Triple H and Stephanie gained power, and Shane ended up leaving. You know, behind the scenes, if you know what happened, basically a few years ago, when the last time Shane was on television, Shane did have a backstage role. You know, he was working with the writing team, he was working with the corporate team, doing various things. He wanted to gain control over Monday Night Raw. Actually, not just Monday Night Raw, but all of WWE. He basically wanted to put himself into the role of Vince McMahon behind the scenes and take control of the company. Vince did not want to give up control at the time. As we know today, he still doesn't want to do that. So Shane was frustrated, left the company to go off overseas and work on, I think, buy rates on China pay-per-views or something like that. He's working instilling pay-per-views on China television. So that's what he's been doing for all this time he's been gone. But you know, it is a problem. You know, they butted heads on this. It wasn't a good send off for Shane McMahon. It was very you know, personal at the time. So that is kind of coming into the storyline that we're having now. You know, them basically rehashing real life in front of the camera, which is what makes this storyline so great. Now that Shane is back, though, that could potentially open the door for another internal power struggle. It is worth noting that Triple H was not involved in the Shane return segment, and while Triple H is supposed to be a heel in this feud against Roman Reigns, it was interesting timing that he acted like a babyface during his angle with Reigns on Monday Night Raw. It was noted by Meltzer by many that Triple H was intentionally trying to get a big babyface pop from the crowd. Now, you know that's true because of the crotch chop. Basically, that is your telltale sign, because the crotch chop goes back to DX, goes back to the babyface run of Triple H. You know, there was only a small amount of time in which DX was a heel faction, and most of the time, DX were babyfaces. You assimilate the crotch chop with DX, therefore you get the babyface pop. Also, Triple H just acting like a badass, you know. That's what we've been wanting to see from Roman Reigns for a year, more than a year. We've been wanting to see this badass, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna beat your ass. And that's what Triple H did, and it looked really great. But that's why he got the big baby face pop. Meltzer thinking it was on purpose, may have been, you know, who knows. We'll honestly not know until WrestleMania is said and done with. We're going to go over the Raw ratings. The post-Fastlane edition of WWE Monday Night Raw drew 3.88 million viewers, which is up from 3.46 last week. You know, last week they had a pretty bad showing. This week looking a lot better. You know, the first hour had 4.2 mil. The second had 4.0. The third hour dropping down to 3.3, obviously because of the Shane McMahon segment. You know, I'm sure anybody who was on Twitter, anybody who was on social media saw, oh shit, Shane O'Mac is back. We got to check it out. So that's why you're getting the high number in the first hour and second hour. Just people hanging around to see, oh, are we going to see more of Shane tonight? Obviously, we didn't, you know, so people tuned out for the third hour, getting the usual garbage that we get every Monday Night Raw. They could see, oh, you know, this is over, so we're going to watch something else. We do have a report also on Vince McMahon and the state of Monday Night Raw leading on up till WrestleMania. It seems as though we're going to get a little bit more PG-14 material than we're getting the PG. You know, Vince McMahon dropped an F-bomb on Monday Night Raw, and it wasn't an accident. That was a scripted line for him to throw out there to get, I would think, to get the hardcore fans excited again. See, oh shit, we're getting the old school stuff. You know, we've got Shane in here. It's a big Attitude Era event, basically, to open the show. Let's go back to that. Let's bring up some old school Attitude Era edge to the show and make people stay tuned. And it worked. You know, you could see by the ratings that it worked. So, also, none of the rule bending, such as the foul language, blood shown on Monday Night Raw, was a coincidence, according to Wednesday's Wrestling Observer Live, which Dave Meltzer works on. It was reported that WWE is planning to make their television product more edgy from this week until WrestleMania. There has rarely been foul language or blood on WWE TV since they announced in 2008 that their family programming had been deemed a PG television rating by their network distributors. There's no word on if WWE plans to keep up the more edgy material after WrestleMania or not, so we don't know. Hopefully, it's a sign of things to come. You know, we'll get back into that more edgier programming that we had during the Attitude Era, making it seem more real. You know, you can't have a show where you have these huge personalities, these huge egos going up against each other and beating the shit out of each other and not having some foul language every now and then. You know, it used to make me laugh hearing, you know, after Shawn Michaels, you know, he got saved and became a hardcore Christian guy, and you know, that's cool if that's what you want to do and that helps you. You know, I got no problem with that. But coming out on Monday Night Raw and saying, I'm going to kick your butt, you know, Who believes that shit? Nobody. That's silly, man. That's childish, and nobody respects you for that. So hopefully they start at least saying, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to, maybe not beat the shit out of you, but hey, turn on CBS. Have you seen Survivor in the last 15 years that they've been doing it, and they've been saying fuck and shit all over the TV on network television? There's a bleep for a reason. Use it. Bring back the TV 14 and just, put some bleeps in there. I don't care. Bleep it out. At least make it real. So moving on, after Monday Night Raw, we got some news and rumors for this week. A lot of things to cover. This is going to be a long episode. Like I said, we're already 30 minutes into it almost. So, the fallout from Raw. We got rumors online that we're going to have a brand split after WrestleMania. If Shane or whoever his associate is that represents him in this match against The Undertaker wins, then you're going to have a storyline where the Authority is no longer in control of Monday Night Raw. You're going to have either Shane in control or a proxy, a stand-in for him. So, that being said, a lot of people are speculating that the wording in the promo to open Monday Night Raw was very specific. He only wanted control of Monday Night Raw. He didn't ask for control of the entire company. It was just for Monday Night Raw. That being said, what's going to happen with Triple H and Stephanie? What's going to happen to the Authority? Is it going to go away? Because if the wording is specific and they mean what they say, and the creative team is very particular about the lines that are said, every little word has a meaning. I know they do throw things away when they write this shit, and sometimes they don't follow up on it, but every week when they do write it, they mean every word they say, and there's a reason why those words were said. That being said, you could have the Authority running SmackDown and Shane or his proxy running Monday Night Raw. If that happens, there's a possibility of another brand split. Bringing back the draft, bringing back separate titles, maybe bringing the World Heavyweight Championship back in contention for SmackDown. Anything could really happen. This is all speculation, of course. There's no official reports of this happening. It's merely speculation at this point. We'll see what happens after WrestleMania. And if Shane or his proxy even wins that match, could be The Undertaker going over. And then we got another year of the Authority, which I'm sure everybody's excited about. We also have Dave Meltzer mentioning on today's installment of Wrestling Observer Radio that the deal for Shane's return was brokered a couple weeks back, and very few people knew about it. In regard to his position with the company behind the scenes, there haven't been any changes to upper management. He doesn't have a corporate role with the company right now. It is strictly on camera for right now. As far as appearing on television, Shane could possibly appear on television as regular moving forward after WrestleMania. Not sure of that right now. This is merely speculation. We do have an official announcement for WrestleMania right now. We got Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. That has been announced for next week's Monday Night Raw. The winner of that match facing Charlotte at WrestleMania for the Divas title. So you got to think that Sasha's going to be winning this match and going on to get her title at WrestleMania. Honestly, who knows if they're going to put the title on Sasha at WrestleMania. It will be a great time to make her a legitimate threat to the title and give her her babyface run for a while. But that being said, they have built Charlotte very well lately, going as her heel run, just going and being that Ric Flair type of character, just insulting and big on herself, bigger than life character, and it's working very well with her, and who knows if they're going to let her run with that for a while. You could see Charlotte breaking Nikki Bella's title run, and becoming that I'm sure that they would really like that, especially if they're wanting to move on from this whole Divas fiasco. Everybody hates that term, the Divas, the Divas title and all this shit. It's very condescending, and you know, nobody likes that. So, and I'm sure they know that. So they may be moving on from that whole Divas era. You know, you got Nikki and Brie leaving. You know, who knows if Total Divas is going to keep going. I would say without Nikki and Brie being active competitors, that the show is done. Total Divas is over. If I had to guess, I'm sure, you know, they're the stars of the show. You know, I know they do have Paige and Natalia and Rosa Mendez and a lot of girls that work for WWE in Total Divas, but you know, the flag bearers for that show are Nikki and Brie. And without Nikki and Brie, what do you have? You have a shell of a show. So if you do see an end to Total Divas, we may see finally a whole end to this Divas bullshit once and for all. You got Charlotte running with the title as a Flair. You know, I'm sure they would like to have that in the record books. Charlotte Flair being the longest reigning women's champion in WWE history. That may be something we see next year, so look out for that. We also have a report that The Undertaker will be appearing on Monday Night Raw next week. Big story. WWE issued a teaser for this, that The Undertaker will appear live on next Monday's edition of Raw for the first time in 2016. WWE.com can confirm. Following Mr. McMahon's blockbuster declaration that the Phenom will battle Shane McMahon inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania to decide if the Boy Wonder will assume control of Monday Night Raw, the WWE Universe has been speculating on what the legendary superstar will have to say about his role in the McMahon family power struggle. Will the dead man shed further light on his historic 24th contest at the Showcase of the Immortals? Tune in to Raw next Monday, live at 8 on USA Network to see the dead man's return. So it is official. We are going to see The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday. So we'll see what he has to say, if he is even cool with representing The Undertaker. You know, he's a babyface. He's been portrayed. I know he did heelish things against Lesnar last year in that run that they had with the low blows and shit, you know. But that whole thing was pretty much a babyface matchup. You know, everybody liked Lesnar, and The Undertaker is, of course, beloved by the WWE Universe. Everyone loves him. So, are we going to see Undertaker, you know, say, Vince, you know, this is my problem. You know, handle your shit on your own. Who knows? We'll see this Monday, though. There's also been a lot of speculation online about Goldberg return for WrestleMania. Merely speculation, because Dave Meltzer reported on today's installment of Wrestling Observer Radio that as of yesterday, Goldberg has not been contacted by WWE to work the event at all. So there's no official word on Goldberg coming back. They haven't contacted him. I would guess this is pretty much just online speculation and rumors, which, you know, we get every year. Last week, we had all CM Punk's coming back at Fastlane. CM Punk's coming back to WWE, which is ridiculous. If you know what is really going on, you know that CM Punk is contracted for UFC for the next 3 years. There is no way in hell Dana White would let CM Punk come back to WWE for a one-off match at WrestleMania, especially given that he's undergoing surgery. He is supposed to have a fight this year. It was scheduled, the opponent was scheduled, and, you know, he had a back problem that he's undergoing surgery for right now. You know, he's getting that fixed so he can maybe possibly have a fight before 2016 is over. We don't know, you know, if he's going to be fighting this year or if it's going to be in 2017. But we're not going to see CM Punk in a WWE ring at least until 2020, 2019, maybe, if he wants to. Given the way he left, and you know, he's got a lawsuit against the doctors at WWE right now. There's a lot of bad shit going on with CM Punk. So the Goldberg stuff, of course, just speculation, just like the CM Punk stuff. Don't take any merit into it. We're probably not going to see Goldberg at WrestleMania. There's also another report that there could be a weird angle going on with Monday Night Raw in the future. You know, of course, it could mean nothing, But an upcoming Raw after WrestleMania is being listed as Raw versus WWE. That is that's the headline that they're selling for this Raw post WrestleMania. It's interesting to see. Who knows if it even means anything, or if it's just a ploy to get ticket sales because they're worried that post WrestleMania everybody's going to be jumping off the bandwagon of WWE, which there's not a whole lot on right now. So who knows if this is a real storyline thing, or if it's just a ploy to get ticket sales. We'll see in the future. Also, there is a report that we're going to be having a pay-per-view switcheroo, if you want to put it that way. Usually after WrestleMania we have Extreme Rules, of course. This year, they're actually going to be moving Payback in the Backlash slot, using Payback as a Backlash type event. The fallout of WrestleMania pay-per-view would be Payback, and I really, really like that they're doing that. It's you need to have that. Extreme Rules had no, WrestleMania vibe to it. Backlash always had that. This is the fallout from WrestleMania pay-per-view. This is a big pay-per-view, and it led into the year giving momentum for the post-WrestleMania storylines, and you haven't had that for years because they put Extreme Rules there. And now we're going to be having Payback on May 1st. Those two pay-per-views are both going to take place in May 22nd. They're not dropping Extreme Rules. They're just putting Payback ahead of Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules taking place on the 22nd of May. So, you got the two pay-per-views in May, which is good if you're a network subscriber. Getting two pay-per-views for 1 month's price, not a bad deal. And that's all we got with that. Payback coming post-WrestleMania now. So that's a really good story. I really like that. We got two more stories here for you today. We got Finn Balor teasing a Bullet Club formation this week. There's been a lot of speculation online about the Bullet Club. Are they going to be coming soon? Are they going to be they're going to take over Monday Night Raw. They're going to rule the WWE. I don't think personally that's going to happen because you got most of those guys in NXT. The only one on the main roster is AJ Styles. And who knows if they're even going to put Styles in the Bullet Club storyline that they're going to be having. Possibly. They may not even do it. But, I'm sure given that Bullet Club is a huge, huge name in wrestling right now and has been for the past, couple of years. Well, more than a couple of years. It's been going on for quite a while, and people recognize Bullet Club. Even people who didn't watch New Japan know who the Bullet Club is. So you got, you got Nakamura down there in NXT. You got Doc Gallows and the other guy. Damn it, I can't remember his name right now. But you got the core pieces of Bullet Club down in NXT coming. So I don't see them transferring that to the main roster right away because Nakamura is going to be fighting in NXT Dallas. He's not going to be at WrestleMania. So this is something that's going to be happening after WrestleMania possibly. They may be bringing up Finn Balor. If Joe wins the title at NXT Dallas, you could see Finn Balor coming up and introducing the Bullet Club, which has also gotten a recent rumor of a name change to Bulletproof. Which is interesting. I understand that you want to stay away from the bullets and the gun stuff, if you're WWE. But keeping the bullet in and changing it to Bulletproof instead of Bullet Club is kind of cool. I like that. I like the way they're going with that. So that's a possibility to be happening soon in the future. Keep your eye out for that. We also have the very dreadful story of the week. This is awful that this happened. And I don't know the details. I haven't actually seen this episode of Pawn Stars, but Sunny, Tammy Sitch, was on Pawn Stars this week selling a WWE Hall of Fame ring. Now, it was assumed that this Hall of Fame ring was her Hall of Fame ring, seeing as though she put it on eBay and nobody bought it. But, seeing as how that happened, you could see her going on there, getting some publicity for that porno she just put out. by selling her WWE ring and shilling her porno on the show. That was not the case, however. The ring that she was selling was actually Paul Bearer's Hall of Fame ring. This, when I saw that it was Paul Bearer's, I was very upset at Sunny. Who knows how she came to own this ring, how if she legally should have that ring. It's Paul Bearer's, and I don't know what kind of relationship Paul Bearer had with Sunny. But would Paul Bearer be okay with her shilling her porno using his WWE Hall of Fame ring that he worked his entire career to earn? And would he be okay with that? I wouldn't think so. I've seen shoot interviews with the guy, and he seems like a very, very nice individual. It's a shame that he's gone. But would he be okay with this? I don't think so, but who am I to say? He's the only one that could answer that, and unfortunately now he can't. But shouldn't that ring go to a family member of some kind of his? Why does Sunny have the damn thing? How did she get the ring? That's what I can't figure out. And how pathetic to go on national television on a show which everyone watches. I don't know about you, but I think everyone has at least seen one episode of Pawn Stars. And, it's a huge show. It's History Channel's flag-bearing show. Pawn Stars is it. And I know it gets really good ratings. And to go on there and shill Paul Bearer's Hall of Fame ring to promote your porno and make a little cash and get some publicity really rubbed me the wrong way. I hated it. I'm going to watch the episode, of course, to see how it goes. I may be making assumptions, but not a good story, man. Not a good spot for Sunny. And let's hope that after this porno shit is over, she can just go back to fading into existence and living her normal personal life and staying the fuck out of Paul Bearer's. Because let the guy rest, man. Let him rest in peace. So that's all I got for this week, guys. Huge show this week. Thank you for joining me here on WWE News and Rumors. If you want to stay connected to the show, the best way to do that, click the little T up there, click the little F up there. You'll be taken to my social media sites, and you can like my page on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter and stay ahead of all the newer videos that are going to be coming out. I go on there every single time I make a new video and share that, exactly when that video is released, so you can stay on top of it and catch the newest rumors and news right as they come out. So do that. If you like the channel and you like these videos, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel to make sure you stay on top of things and keep getting those videos in your sub box and hanging with me. I really appreciate you guys checking out the video. We're just getting started here on YouTube, and already I've got haven't got a wealth of views and subs, but I've had really good feedback on what's been coming out, and we're going to keep doing this, and hopefully we can grow together. So thank you guys for joining me. This has been DroFingerz for WWE News and Rumors, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey.